Good morning, and welcome to Compromise Kitchen, where today we will be making some heart-healthy chocolate chip cookies. To begin, you will want to start by collecting all of your equipment. For this recipe, you will need one large mixing bowl, a plastic spoon, measuring spoons, measuring cups, a melon baller, and an electric mixer. You will also need a large baking sheet and a rubber baking mat. You can find one at Kroger or Walmart, and if you do not have access to one, feel free to use parchment paper. You will then want to measure out half of a cup of canola oil, half of a cup of brown sugar, one large egg, and half of a tablespoon of vanilla. I'm on a cardiac rehab diet, so I like to use brown sugar instead of regular white processed sugar. However, if you are eating completely sugar-free, you can certainly try and use alternatives like Truvia or Splenda. If you do not wish to have any sugar-free alternatives, you can certainly go for a more organic approach by using raw, unfiltered honey. Half of a cup will do just fine. I then go ahead and add half of a cup of canola oil, because that's what was recommended to me by my dietitian. If you're not too worried about it, you could certainly use melted coconut oil or melted butter or margarine. You'll just have to see what works best for you. I then add half of a tablespoon of vanilla. I use extra strength baking vanilla, but it really doesn't matter. You can use whatever kind of vanilla you have on hand. I then crack my large egg. If you do not wish to use eggs, I know Amazon sells vegan eggs, and you can use half of a cup of buttermilk or part of an old banana as a substitute. You then want to go ahead and grab your electric beaters and get all of your ingredients mixed up. Next, you want to get your dry ingredients. I use 1 1/4 cup of flour, 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, and 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I use kosher salt, as well as just regular store-bought baking powder. I do not believe that either of these should be an issue for any particular diet, but if you're worried about it, you could certainly use only 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt instead of 1/4 of a teaspoon. I then go ahead and add my flour. I use Red Mill's whole wheat pastry flour for most of my cookies and pies and stuff that I make. It's certainly not gluten-free, but Red Mill does make an almond flour that is gluten-free, and all of their different types of flour are available on Amazon. Mom, we're doing a shot. The sign says dirty. One thing to note is that if your mixture comes out too dry and crumbly, you may need to add a little bit of water. There is no specific amount that I use, it's just whatever is enough to help the mixture stick together better. The next thing you want to do is get your chocolate chips. I'd say about half a cup is enough. It doesn't have to be exact. I like to use these Enjoy Life dark chocolate morsels. They're made with 100% cane sugar and 100% chocolate. There's no other ingredients. It's very natural, very good for you. If you're not too worried about it, you can certainly use just regular milk chocolate or Toll House chocolate chips. This is where you're going to use your plastic spoon just to kind of get everything mixed up and all evenly distributed. At this point, you're going to want to go ahead and get your oven preset to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I like to use a melon baller to help get the cookie batter out of the bowl and to keep my hands clean, but it certainly is not necessary. You're then going to want to go ahead and put the cookies in the oven and set the timer for about 13 minutes. When I make the cookies, I use 13 minutes and they come out perfectly, but depending on what kind of ingredients you use and what kind of oven you have, you may need to adjust a little bit. One way to make sure that your cookies are baked all the way through is to stick a toothpick in, and as long as you don't pull out any raw cookie dough, you should be good. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you like this recipe, please go ahead and like and share the video, and if you want to see more heart-healthy recipes, then you can go ahead and subscribe and turn on the bell so that you guys can get notifications for whenever I upload. Thank you.